Hello everybody, welcome to our video on rigging single point or 0 point hoops. This is part of a series of videos based around safe rigging practice. Before you come to this video and before you start doing rigging of your own, I suggest that you have a look at a couple of the other pieces of information that we've put out on safe rigging at home. The first of those is on how to set up a safe training space, and the second of those is how to set up a safe rigging point. This video is about single point and 0 point hoops, so let's have a look at first of all what they are and second of all how to rig them. This is a single point hoop because it has one single tab at the top, and you can see how around this it's welded together and the metal hoop is actually looped around it. So these are the simplest that we can use to rig. Let me quickly show you how to set one of these up. So we're going to start simply with a carabiner and with a round sling. This round sling is capable of taking loads of up to 2 tons, which is more than enough for our needs. We're going to basically use 2 carabiners and 1 sling. So with one of these at each end, very simple to rig. Clip through the tab, come up to your rig. This is obviously not set up for performance use. This is set up so that we can just demonstrate. So here, clipped in, and all we have is 1 round sling and 2 carabiners, and that's the most basic form of setup that we would do with a single point hoop. There are other ways also to rig single point hoops, in that you can also use a single rope to interconnect between your rigging point and the hoop itself. So as you can see from here, we have steel wire rope running through the cotton ropes, so you have the security of the steel wire rope whilst you also have the comfort of the cotton rope which is covering it. This type of hoop is a 0 point hoop, which is different to the other types of hoop because there's no single point or double point to which you're actually going to attach your rigging equipment. So let's show you how to set one of these up. Just going to take the sling and pass it through, and that can then be clipped in to our rigging point here. So then we've got a 2-ton sling choked around our hoop. This can be moved around if necessary, and that's very simply how to set one of these up. One of the things that you may encounter with a 0 point hoop is that when you pull down on the hoop, it tends to slip around within the connection. There's a couple of things that you can do to counter that. One thing that you can do is through the loop you can feed an extra round through so that this secures it a little bit more tightly. One of the other things that you can do is to secure that with trapeze or hoop tape underneath, which is basically just a form of cotton tape. Cotton tape typically comes in a variety of different colours and sizes. These are 50mm tape, and you can get 25mm tape as well. Either way, what you're going to do is just take that and wrap it around over the hoop to add a little bit of extra friction underneath your sling. So when we're buying our equipment, we want to make sure that what we're buying is safe for the use to which we're putting it. If we're doing something like aerial hoop, then most of the rigging equipment like this, if it's rated at greater than 1 ton, then you're probably going to be okay. So this round sling is rated for 2 tons. They're relatively inexpensive, and the card which is on it tells you a little bit about the configurations that you can use it in. We'll probably cover some of those in a different video. This is a shackle, and this shackle has the safe working load placed on that as well, and in this case this one's rated at 2 tons as well. So both of these are more than sufficient for the uses to which we're going to place them. So when we're looking at carabiners or climbing slings, those are rated in a different way. So when we're looking at those, we'll not see a working load limit put on them, we'll see a maximum breaking strain. And those in our setup that we have here are set for 25 kilonewtons. So 25 kilonewtons, if you want a rough translation of kilonewtons to kilograms, just multiply by 100. 25 kilonewtons is effectively 2.5 metric tons. Again, more than adequate for the purposes that we're putting on it in this particular case. This is an aluminium carabiner, and it's a triple action carabiner in which we need to pull it down, we need to twist it, and then we can open it. So and then it springs back in and shuts every time, and you can't open it without doing that triple action. So it's a very safe one to use from that perspective, and it's aluminium, so it's very light. if we look at this, is a steel carabiner, which is a screw lock carabiner. And this screw lock carabiner, once it's screwed up, it's nice and tight. We would typically rig these closed in a downward position so that vibrations would help it to vibrate downwards, but there have been a number of cases where the vibrations still allow that to move up. So the safest way you can use a screw lock carabiner is to lock it down closed and continually check it to make sure that it is staying closed, so it doesn't come open. This last carabiner here is another steel one, and this one is also a triple action carabiner. So I'm going to push this up, twist it, and then open it, and it springs back closed. So again, nice and safe. But even this one is only meant to have 2 points of load pulling in that direction. When we're rigging, we've chosen to use these nice big fat slings as they're very much more comfortable on the skin. Ropes are good too, but they're not the only thing that we can use to hang a hoop. We could be using climbing slings, although they're much smaller diameter. It means that they're much harder on the hands and on the body if you're using those. You can use steel wire rope or covered steel wire rope covered with plastic as another method, but again, those are not usually quite as fat and as chunky as these. So these are much more comfortable to use, so we see these being used much more commonly. Right, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you want to stay up to date with what we're doing, then go to www.Circusrigging.info. You can subscribe there for exclusive content. If you're seeing this on YouTube, feel free to subscribe to this video to get all of the latest video updates that we're doing as well.